It's after 5 o'clock, thank goodness. It's time for a glass of wine now. We're joined by the hour's wine expert, Tom Canavan, and still with us, French wine expert, well, she is tonight, Fidel McCook. Tom, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Steve.
We're doing a journey of wine with you. Where are you taking us tonight?
Exactly. Next stop on the journey is another one of the famous grapes, the great red grapes, Pinot Noir. This is the great grape of Burgundy. So we're going to have a look at three Pinots, two of them from France in Fidelma's honour. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the serving temperature of red wine, because Pinot's a grape that actually tastes really good if you serve it just a little bit cooler than most people would.
Well, most people assume red means room temperature, don't they?
Well, room temperature's an interesting kind of concept, but it's an 18th century concept. And these days, when we've got central heating, double glazing, cavity wall insulation, our room temperature is actually really quite warm. And a lot of wines, especially the kind of lighter, more aromatic reds, like Pinot Noir, benefit from just 15-20 minutes in the fridge before you serve them, and you find they get much crisper and much kind of sharper, and that really suits wines and suits this style.
Well, we've been in the STV cellar for this morning, so you've got them sorted out for us quickly. What are we doing first here?
Okay, so we're starting here with a little wine, which is a Pinot Noir from France, but it's not from Burgundy, it's from the Loire Valley, which is quite far north in France. And although it's really the home of great white wines like Sancerre and Pouilly-Fumé, it also makes quite a lot of Pinot Noir. And this one, which has no oak in it, is just a kind of pure expression of the Pinot Noir grape to start us off. And it's £5.99 in Majestic currently, so it's not too expensive. Pinot's quite an expensive grape because it's quite hard to grow. So let's have a try at this one. A little swirl and a sniff. And it's a kind of gentle kind of fruit in this one. I mean, I think there's strawberry in there, and I get something a little bit kind of vegetal. If I say things like beetroot or rhubarb, I wonder if you'll find them. Just have a little go, have a sniff.
I don't get the rhubarb.
And you're getting the rhubarb, Fidel, red your wine of choice? Is it you're a red drinker?
And white.
And white. And rosé.
But red I prefer. How do you stop yourself getting a moustache? I have two,
Well,
I'm dreading doing this.
I think you must just keep a hanky with you and just have a little. I think it's the only solution.
All right, that's delicious. Next one up, and we're staying in France for this one too. Yeah.
We're staying in France. We're almost doubling in price. Now this is a wine at £10.99, and I know that's a lot of money, but you're buying a wine here that comes from Burgundy, from the famous vineyards of the Côte de Nuit in Burgundy. This is the Côte de Nuit Village from Marks and Spencer's at £10.99.
At home, that'd be about at home. I said that.
At home in France.
That would be £4 odd.
I mean, you have to remember that our duty and tax is so high over here that about £3 gets slapped on top of every bottle as it comes into the country. So that makes a big difference. And there's a markup. But this wine comes from 60-year-old vines that the vineyards planted just after the war. It's organically farmed, everything's done by hand. And if you have a little sniff and a taste of this one, it's got a lovely aromatic nose. It's quite a complex nose, as well as that kind of black cherry fruit. I think you find that there's a hint of something floral, something spicy, maybe something that just reminds you of kind of violets and flowers. Flowery. It's a lovely nose. It's quite complex. Have a sip of this one. And again, it's a delicious. It's got that freshness of Pinot Noir.
Fidelma, to your taste, what do you think?
Yes, much better than that. That had
like
almost a tannin taste, actually.
There is more tannin in the first one.
This is lovely.
Again, at £10.99, they've aged this in a little bit of oak barrel, which softens it out a little bit more, which helps to make it. But it's quite a classy wine, this one. And would also sell her for 3 or 4 years and want to lay a couple of bottles away.
Okay, one final one to try tonight. What have we got?
The final one, we're moving across to Australia. Now, Pinot is a grape that is very temperamental. It won't grow just anywhere, and there are only kind of 5 or 6 hotspots for Pinot Noir around the world. And this one comes from the Yarra Valley in Australia, near Melbourne, and that's one of the Pinot hotspots. This one's from a company called De Bortoli, very good winemaker, and it's the Windy Peak Pinot Noir in Sainsbury's at £7.99. Now, if you try this one, we're getting more of that kind of southern, sunny richness of the southern hemisphere. There's plenty of oak in this one again, but if you have a little sniff, there's something quite kind of chocolatey and earthy about this. It reminds me a little bit of things like truffles and mushrooms as well. There's a little bit of that, which is a typical character.
Which could be the truffles.
That's a tasting note that I am
the septic tank.
On a bad day.
On a hot day.
Very hot day. Yeah.
Well, Videlma, I think you have a talent for describing these smells.
Would you get Australian wines easily in France? You know, your local supermarket, for instance, do they still prefer to drink what they grow and make?
France is innately superior in every possible way. They do believe that. So obviously French wines, they will keep as much Australian or South African out beginning to appear.
In fact, it's very regional. In Bordeaux, they won't drink Burgundy, and in Burgundy, they won't drink that.
So give us a favourite out of these three. What do you think of them?
That.
The middle one, $10.99.
The expensive one, of course.
Expensive taste.
Classful out, I think.
Indeed.
Fidelma, good to have you with us. Thanks very much. Signing your book tomorrow in Glasgow at Borders Bookstore. Yeah.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Tom, thanks for your time as always.